بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praise is due to Allah, and peace and blessings be upon His Messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was amongst his companions when a Bedouin came and asked him a fundamental question. He told him, "O Prophet of Allah, shall we make use of medical treatment?" And the Prophet of Allah answered him. He said, "Seek medical treatment, for Allah has not made a disease without appointing a remedy for it, with the exception of one disease, old age." So this hadith is a sound hadith. It's collected by Abu Dawood in this version, and there are many other versions of it. And the importance of it is that it gives us a systematic way of dealing with situations such as the COVID-19 pandemic that we're going through right now. The Prophet ﷺ is giving us two important directives in this hadith. Number one, on the practical side, seek medical treatment. The second, on the conceptual side, he is making us understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the diseases and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed a cure for every disease with the exception of death. And that gives more motivation to implement the first directive, the practical directive. And understanding these two directives is very important because one does not preclude the other. Seeking medical treatment does not preclude our understanding of the framework that diseases and pandemic, we can see them through. So, for example, for seeking medical treatment, all the measures that have been done at the level of prevention, such as the ones that have been advised by public health officials, all the modeling that is being done in order to come up with the best public policies on how to allocate scarce resources to mitigate the effects on the pandemic while mobilizing the community to replenish those resources. Working on recognizing the cause of the disease by the specialists, and then developing the vaccines based on sequencing the virus DNA, for example, and then eventually finding a cure for that disease. All of these things can be seen under the umbrella of seeking medical treatment, that first directive of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yet, that does not preclude the fact that everything has been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All existence, the heavens and the earth, and what's in them, and whoever in them. And as such, the Prophet ﷺ is giving us the proper perspective. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the disease, and He has made a cure for each disease so that we are given the incentive to find that cure. This approach is a very scientific approach. For science, properly defined, is an endeavor that is involving intellectual and practical activity, seeking the truth. Basically, it's a systematic study of the structure and the behavior of the physical and the natural world through observation and experiment. And that can be implemented for finding cures for disease and does not preclude the framework through which we understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the disease and has created a cure for each disease. If we approach, or if somebody approaches the situation as being totally something that has to be focused on finding the material and physical cause of this disease, and if they think that this precludes the framework, the conceptual framework, then these are not appealing to science. They are more appealing to scientism. And scientism is a philosophical outlook. It is not science. It posits that reality is only made of matter and energy, and that there isn't anything that is beyond matter and energy that is real, that exists. And this is in direct conflict with our aqidah, with our understanding of how the whole world works. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the book, هو أنشأكم من الأرض واستعمركم فيها. He has produced you from the earth and settled you in it. He has made, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this earth a settlement, a dwelling, a habitat for mankind. And part of building up that habitat into civilizations, accumulating human endeavor and human efforts over a long period of time to improve that habitat, is to follow and find cures for diseases. It is such a challenge as the COVID-19 pandemic that make human beings find cures and build up their settlement on this earth. Part of them being the vicegerent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on their earth, and part of being appointed as the stewards of this earth. So when we approach this issue from this perspective, then what we are doing, we are actually implementing worship in its broadest sense. And we are implementing the directives of the Prophet ﷺ on both the practical end and the conceptual end. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those who listen and follow the best of what they hear, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to alleviate this pandemic soon, inshaAllah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.